Hey guys, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Muffin, also known as eRa Muffin. My video today, for all of you guys watching, is correct render settings, because I've noticed in eRa so far, in this editing contest, nobody has correct render settings except for me, and I kind of want to fix that, so we can all look sexy and get along, and anybody who's not in eRa and is watching, it's okay. I'm not going to be mad if you're not in eRa and you're still watching. It's okay with me. So, uh, getting off to the basics. Starting off, you got your HD PVR capture module. Now you see your preview right here and everything. You can have, that will normally be checked. Hardware acceleration also checked. Make sure it's on PlayStation 3, because that records in M.2ts, which is the best recording format. Xbox 360 records in MP4, and really you don't want to use that. You just want to use PlayStation 3. After that, you need to go to ignore device settings. Make sure these match up. It's going to be default anyway. Go to format settings, and this is going to come up. Make sure it says over here 1280 by 720 at 60 frames per second. This means that your Xbox is outputting at 720p, and some of you guys like Harvey had your Xbox at 1080p, which was only being captured at 30 frames per second. After that, make sure you're at best. Drag it all the way here to 13.5 megabytes per second at a constant bitrate. Have that all good there. AC3 audio encoder, don't mess around with that. Don't boost audio. Leave the LEDs on if you want them. And there you go. Click OK and you're good. I can't do that, or else Fraps will mess up. So I'm just going to close that real quick, or leave it there. Okay, so then you've recorded your clip. You have your clip all ready. It's all good, ready to go. And you want to import it to Vegas. So you got your clip. Let's just start off anew here. Go new. I don't want to save any changes. Here in the project settings, which comes up when you go for a new project, or when you go to file properties, which is somewhere around here, it's going to come up right there. Your options, your template. So basically what you want to do, click this, which is going to match media settings, and you go to wherever you record your clips. My folder is recorded, and you just find any clip from your PVR, anything, and you click that. It'll give you all the information here, and you click open, and it copies the settings. That's just to start off. Let's do that right now. Good. So it's copied the settings so far. 720 60p at 1080 by 720 59.40 frames per second. Perfect. Make sure it's a non-progressive scan for the field order. Pixel aspect ratio 1. No rotation. Double NTSC. You don't want 3D unless you record Black Ops 3D, which you wouldn't do with a PVR anyway. So here, you have an option, and normally when you match media settings to something recorded off the PVR, it's going to go directly to 8-bit. Now, guys, I want you to go to 32-bit, full range. Make your compositing, wow, I'm sorry, I have like 4 hours of sleep. Change that right here to 2.2, 2. And keep that there. It's gonna make the gamma really nice, and you're not gonna have a major gradient line as it gets darker or brighter in some colors. So it just makes it look better, if you don't understand. Full resolution rendering quality, leave it at best. You want the Gaussian motion blur. The interlace method none, because you're at 720p, which is progressive. 720i would be interlaced, so you don't need to de-interlace. Start all projects with these settings. Make sure that's checked. Before that though, Make sure the audio settings match up. It'll probably be like this, but you want to keep it at 24 so you keep all the bit depth, and sample rate 48, resample and stretch quality best, so everything sounds fine. Click OK on that, and just make sure you have everything I have here, and we're good. Perfect. Now we're going to import the clip. Let's get my G6 feed, and if you do not know what a G6 feed is yet, it is any submachine gun hip fired with ACOG. So what I'm going to do, cut that clip, bring that over here. Let's make this a little bit bigger for you guys. See, I got my clip right here all ready to go, and you see the black lines here, which you'll normally notice with the PVR when it records. Now if you're sending it out to an editor for a montage, they will take care of the lines, but just in case you need to do it yourself, what you're gonna do is best way right here, maintain aspect ratio, click no, be very careful, and just ever so slightly, oops, wrong button, zoom in here and just make sure those lines go away on each side, and it's automatically going to stretch to fill the output. So you got that. Perfect. Now you could save this as crop correct, as I will do right now, and there you go. That's cropped. All good. If you maintain aspect ratio, it's really going to be the same. You didn't change much. It didn't actually change anything. It does it automatically anyway. So it's saved. It's all good, but normally an editor will take care of that, and you want to leave it up to an editor. But if not, just crop your clip. Easy. Moving on, just to give your clip some extra beauty, look on my screen right here. I'm going to take Sharpen. Go to Sharpen right here in Video Effects, which is going to be right here by Project Media and all that. Take Reset to None. You would think this does nothing, but actually it's actually going to make it look a lot nicer. You can see right here it's a little bit crisper. Everything is crisper, and if you look at the frame, it does look a little grainy, but when you're actually playing it and it gets twixtered, everything looks beautiful. Make sure it's at 0, reset to none, just leave it, put it there once, and it's on 0, and you're all good. Your clip is going to look really, really nice once it renders out fully. If you, little tip, if you use really high brightness on your Xbox settings, you could go to darker right here. You could just drag that in and make it darker, and that'll make it darker, but you're gonna have to tweak that a little bit and mess around. Like some clips look like that. If you want, you can just drag it back there, but I don't need that because my settings are good, and normally an editor will take care of that. But if you want to upload one clip, you could do that. Or color curves, you could reset to none, and I'll bring up the color curve. If it's really bright, you just bring down the brights a bit, and I'll bring the whole clip down a bit. It's a lot more accurate than just brightening it up yourself, darkening it up yourself. And that basically does it. You can mess around with that if you have a really bright clip. And that's basically it for video effects. Now you want to render the whole video. By the way, this is Video Project Properties again, in case you need it. It's here to make new properties, and also here. So that's good. Now take your clip and highlight it, and don't make sure it's not stretched, because you'll have the correct render, you'll have the correct aspect ratio anyway, so make sure that's unchecked. Save project markers in media file, that's up to you. If you did a lot of markers by pressing M, then they'll be saved there. Render loop region, only that renders whatever's highlighted. When you double click something, it's highlighted from cut 1 to cut 2, where you've basically cut the clip. So that's that. I saved my settings as HD PVR. So here we go. Of course you want to include video. Custom frame size 1280 by 720, and I don't have this checked. The profile is going to be main, and the frame rate, put the exact amount of zeros, or else it's going to automatically bump up to 60 frames per second. Keep that at 59.94. Have that there. Field order, non-progressive scan as usual. Pixel aspect ratio 1. Number of reference frames, you want to put that as 4. Then normal is 2. Make sure it's 4 and then save, and make sure it's 4. It doesn't go back to 2 because sometimes it messes up the save. Use deblocking filter. I like that because it prevents patchiness. Like if you ever watch a video on your phone streaming live, it's very patchy sometimes, or in 240p. Patches of pixels get patched together to save some space and reduce quality. So put that. Variable bitrate. 2 pass will take you forever to render. I don't even do it. You won't be able to render. My computer can't even render it. Maximum, put it at 14. You can put it at 13. You can put it at 13,500,000 if you want. But just keep it at 14 million. 13,500,000. Yes, I can count now. I can pass the 3rd grade. Keep it at 14. It's going to be a default. Put it at 14 for maximum, and average put it at 14. Audio, very important. Most tutorials don't tell you how to have good audio because most people don't know what good audio is. This is a compression rate. Your bit rate, that's the bits per second of MP4 compressed audio. This is what you can have on iTunes. This is also another format on iTunes. It's terrible. It makes your audio grainy, and you lose so much sound quality with it. This is very high sound quality. It's going to increase the size of your file a little bit, but it's not that bad, and you're not going to get any kind of sound loss for the most part. It's going to be really nice, and whenever you're rendering something, keep it at that, especially if you have music. If you don't, keep that at 320 kilobits per second. If you don't keep it at this number, I'm not gonna say numbers out loud today. 320,000 there you go. If you don't keep it at that number, it's not gonna sound good. It's just gonna sound terrible. So keep it at that. Sample rate 48,000, perfect. Project best. And there you go. One quick look over here. All good. I'm gonna name this G6 feed for the win, and I'm gonna save that right now, which renders it out, and I'll show you the final product after. Hopefully this has been helpful to all my eras out there, and anybody who just wanted a really nice tutorial on how to get good render settings for the HD PVR. I will talk to you guys in the next commentary. Goodbye. Sorry guys, one quick thing I forgot to mention. How to disable resample your clips. Everybody thinks their clips are disabled resampled, of course. In fact, how to do that, just right click. One way to do it, right here. Go to switches, disable resample. Click that and your clip is disable resampled. You can also go to properties and disable resample there.
Enemy UAV is airborne.
Wow, there's like 4 guys over there. Like, get my guy.
Airstrike standing by.
Oh, go on, Muffin. Oh,
Support standing by.
like a G6, like a G6.